Sonic the Hedgehog 3 itself, the greatest combination of 3 whole words and a number, and symbol, and referring to the human body part. But yeah, Sonic 3 is super good. I like it, and this is gonna be a quickie video for all the real ones on why Sonic 3 is epic. All right, yeah. Let's get right into it. Yeah. First thing I'm gonna talk about is the gameplay. So your gameplay is it's your standard Sonic stuff. You got your running, jumping, spinning, springs, and it's your basic Sonic stuff. When you press down, you can roll up into a ball while you have to have momentum first, and when you're going downhill and you roll, it's your same Sonic stuff, except there's new things added this time. This time around, you have the instant shield, and you have the electric shield. But the instant shield is kind of a different thing. Instant shield is when if you press the same button twice in the air, it does the little thing. Instead of doing a double jump or something, it does like a little thing around you that gives you a little bit of extra range. And you have the elemental shields plus the regular shield. The regular shield just gives you an extra hit, but the elemental shields give you an extra hit along with some extra abilities. Those abilities can be a double jump, a dash forward, or a thing that lets you shoot down at the ground and lets you bounce back up, which is also pretty useful. Hard to say the best one of these personally is the fire shield because it helps you build up speed. But all of these do cancel out your regular shield, which is kind of bad. Now the other forms of gameplay that are in this are the extended levels. The levels go straight from the end of an act right into the next act, and they have just added transitions and everything. And plus, there's a lot more bosses in it, which is a new thing for the series, which is the mini bosses that they add at the first act of most levels. There's usually a mini boss you can tackle into the game, which is pretty dope. Now the next thing I'm going to talk about is where's the game really, where's the game get good at? And things I think the game gets really good at is the how they convey story, through your world. You can just see stuff happen around you, and it happens organically, which is kind of neat. And the world also has lots of the things you can explore, and it lets you engage in the environment. Also, the game has 3 playable characters and lets you play with Sonic and Tails as a duo, along with letting you play as Sonic, Tails, and a new character, Knuckles, separately. And Sonic is, what I described earlier. Tails has, instead of having an instant shield, he can fly when you press the same button twice. And Knuckles can glide and climb up walls, which really lets you explore the area and lets you take in the environment. And plus, the soundtrack of the game is pretty freaking good. And it's really a bop. It's something to add to your Spotify playlist. Now, isn't completely positive. There is some negatives, and some of those things can be that the best parts of this game everybody talks about doesn't mean there's 1 or 2 levels that are kind of bad, even though they may have good music. And also, there's quite a few elements in the game that are really frustrating, such as the barrels of doom, which are really annoying. I hate. There's a lot of stuff in the game, since it's an older game, it's not really explained, and that can sometimes hinder the experience of playing it. And I think that really can drag down the experience of playing Sonic 3 when you don't know stuff and you have to pull up Google every 6 seconds to figure something out. And yeah, this is just some of the stuff that really makes Sonic 3 Sonic 3. Now, what did the game do to put itself out there? Think about it. So, there is a beta that existed for Sonic 3, except it was only held to private eyes and investors and stuff like that. It wasn't meant for the public. There's no service or anything after you took it, but there was beta and prototyping, which is something Sonic 3 used to not be able to know until very recently, when you could play the prototype. Somebody got it and leaked it on the internet, and now you can play the original first 3 Sonic games and their prototypes all on your computer, totally legally. Rather legally. But yeah, there was a prototype for the game, and it actually featured not the Michael Jackson music, it featured different music. But other than that, it was relatively the same, and it also used the Sonic 2 sprites. And the game was also built off the same engine as the first 2 games. That's why in the prototype you can see Sonic uses the Sonic 2 sprite and uses a lot of Sonic 2 sounds, animations, and stuff like that. And it uses the Sonic 2 level select. So yeah, so the game engine they use is just built from the ground up on a Sega development kit. Now, other things about the game. You know, it's the storyline is pretty good. You have Eggman, you know, this is right after Sonic 2, where the Death Egg crashes on Angel Island. So Eggman has to go and fix it, and Sonic follows him there, and he tricks Knuckles into thinking that, you know, he didn't, you know, mean to, you know, he didn't mean to do that. He's just a good guy. He's a good old chap, and Knuckles falls for it and thinks Sonic's the bad guy. So he goes and tries to kill Sonic, and then right before, or 2 levels before the final level, Knuckles realizes Sonic is the good guy and whatever, because Eggman steals the big emerald, and Sonic and Knuckles team up and are best friends. Yeah, and the game's music is pretty good. Here, I'll play a bit of it. Yeah, it's really good. There's 2 different versions of it, which is the prototype and the regular one, but the things I set up in the actual game are like pretty good, and they're, you know, they're bops. They're bops. I'm just saying. Now, one of the other great things that this game introduces is how it conveys more of a story with its characters than previous games. Previous games didn't even have cutscenes. You maybe had that one scene at the end where the character's like running away from it, and you had the end credits. But no, this game they convey a lot of the stuff with cutscenes, and I think it's really nice that they do that, because it really lets you get a feel for Sonic and his friends. Because like you can see, ooh, look at that, Knuckles is now a good guy. Knuckles is gonna save the world, yay, or whatever. And I think it's, you know, I just think it's kind of neat that you're able to do that. And I think that they really push forward in gaming in general with having lots of cutscenes besides an end in a beginning cutscene that shows how the game starts and how the game ends. And there's lots of cutscenes in between that allows you stuff to genuinely flow, and you see how characters grow throughout the story. Oh, there's no talking, but it's really impressive that they were able to show us how characters grow and evolve throughout the game without even having any words. Now, another great thing about the game is the art. The pixel art in the game is so good. Like, the only downside about it is probably Sonic Sprite himself, because Sonic Sprite makes him look a little too, like, I wouldn't want to say, he looks a little too chubby. Like, his legs look really weird for some reason. But other than that, everything is so, like, lush and vibrant. It's got a very high contrast to it, which can hurt your eyes if you're playing it for a really long time. But besides that, it's really nice, and it's really appealing to play. And I think that they really evolved on every character sprite, except for really Tails, but everyone else is almost completely different. And I think that really adds a lot of personality to the game, along with the music, the game's plot, how characters change throughout it, and the game's amazing music. And I think one last thing I'm going to mention is probably the biggest thing relating to it. The Sonic Happy Meal was a promotion that ran from, 1993, and it started where it wasn't even a Happy Meal, it was a Burger King meal. But yeah, you could record your stuff on the side of the bag, and actually included content that wasn't in Sonic 3 but was included in Sonic and Knuckles. And yeah, it was advertised the lock-on feature, and you could win toys and stuff from the Sonic meal, which is stupid. But like, a lot of them got changed for regional things. And Britain, they took them so long to get their thing that by the time they got it, wasn't even branded as Sonic 3, they were just branded as Sonic Meals, which is kind of funny. But yeah, that's kind of it. Sonic had a huge marketing push for Sonic 3 because this was supposed to be, finish the fight like Halo. But they ended up going for another, 82 games. So yeah, that's kind of it. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. It was very good. Yes.